Let's give it up for Gimme Lao, a novel by Sebastian Sim. 1. There were 3 things Gimme Lao did not know about himself. The first occurred at his point of birth. The second happened way before he was born, and the third repeated itself many times over his life. Strictly speaking, the third was not about him. It was about the pivotal impact he had on other people, which he never found out about. Take, for example, Ik Fan. Gimme Lao and Ik Fan went to the same primary school. Being 2 years apart, they were not in the same class, nor did they end up in the same extracurricular sports team. As far as he was concerned, Gimme Lao never knew Ik Fan existed. Ik Fan, on the other hand, would never forget Gimme Lao. Specifically, Ik Fan would never forget the spectacle of Gimme Lao's public humiliation on stage during school assembly. Not the fierce sobbing of the subject of ridicule, nor the malicious smirk of the disciplinary master as he made the boy put on a frock and applied cherry red lipstick on his lips. The entire assembly was collapsing in riotous laughter, and no one noticed that Ik Fan was trembling with fear. When Ik Fan reached home that afternoon, he quickly retrieved the lipstick he hid in his socks drawer and threw it down the rubbish chute. For the following 2 Sundays, after his mother left for the market, he refrained from slipping into her high heels and prancing around the house like he usually did. By the time the 3rd Sunday rolled around, the suppressed urge had become an unbearable itch. The boy succumbed. But the thrill of slipping his feet into the familiar comfort of his mother's high heels was sullied by a new apprehension. He saw his eventual downfall with clarity and certainty. It was only a matter of time before he would be paraded on stage, a subject of ridicule for the entire world's entertainment. Ik Fan countered the fear with pain. He brought out his mother's nail clipper and clipped deep into his toe, tearing off a tender chunk of skin and flesh along with a sliver of toenail. His mother chided him for being careless. The boy continued to be careless. As a teenager, he was always scraping his heels against the spikes on his bicycle chainring. When he was riding his first motorcycle, the exhaust pipe must have seared his thighs a dozen times. After he got married, his wife was shocked at how easily Ik Fan could hurt himself. There were always razor blade cuts on his lips and bruised nails where he had stubbed his toes. She sighed and accepted the fact that her husband was hopelessly clumsy. Ik Fan accepted the penalty of pain for the right to continue with his secret fetish. After his firstborn arrived, his wife was so preoccupied with the baby she left him very much to himself. That was when Ik Fan became emboldened. He bought a new kimono cardigan, a crepe gown, and a split dance dress in sultry red to expand his repertoire. On Sunday afternoons, when his wife brought the baby to the in-laws, Ik Fan decked himself out in elaborate outfits and enacted scenes of fantasy. He was supposedly a damsel in distress, chained up in a dungeon on that fateful afternoon when his mother-in-law came in, unannounced, to retrieve the tin of baby formula. He panicked at the sound of the key at the front door and dropped his key to the handcuff. The look of horror on his mother-in-law's face, searing into his psyche, was many times more painful than the multiple burns from the motorcycle exhaust pipe. After she left, he extricated himself from the bondage and sat in a daze for a full hour before realizing that it was all over. The last image he saw before he applied the blade to his wrist was that of Gimme Lao on stage at the school assembly 20 years ago, sobbing fiercely
Sample complete. Ready to continue?